Let's say you're asked to compute 1 plus 2 using C programming or any other programming language. Ideally, what you would do is you would write sum equals 1 plus 2. That's a simple statement. Now, if you're asked to do 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, you would simply write sum equals 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. Let me extend the problem and I say I want to compute 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus so on up to 100,000. How would you solve this problem? Either you would write something like this, sum equals 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus so on up to 100,000. Unfortunately, you cannot use the dots in C. It's just not possible. So you would spend the whole day pretty much trying to write this up. Or you would write something like this. You initialize sum to 0 and then you say sum equals to sum plus 1 followed by sum equals to sum plus 2 plus so on, sum equals to sum plus 100,000. This actually is even worse than this one, but if you can identify the pattern, we can simplify this problem a lot. So the pattern here is, over here you're adding 1 to sum, so sum was initially 0. In the next step, you're adding 2 to sum and storing it back in sum. In the next step, you're adding 3 to sum and so on. And in this step, you're adding 100,000 to sum and storing it back in sum. But still, it would be a very difficult problem to just, try to write all the combinations. But identify the pattern here. Let's take another problem. So the problem statement is convert degree Fahrenheit to degree centigrade for 4 cities. If I give a problem like this, you would typically do this one. Make 4 variables, F1, F2, F3 and F4. These will store the Fahrenheit values for 4 cities. And then you can use a formula to convert from F to C. Assuming that you use the formula and you got 4 centigrade values. Okay, so these are the 8 variables which you will typically use. So the algorithm for your code would be, you would do this. So read F1 for the first city, compute C1 using the formula, and then display C1. Once you're done with city 1, you can move to city 2. You would say read F2 for city 2, compute C2, and display C2. You do the same thing for city 3. So read F3 for city 3, compute C3, and display C3. And you would do the same thing for C4. Now, if you observe this code, or if you observe this algorithm more closely, you will see that these 3 steps are being repeated here and here and so on. Now, what if I tell you that I want to read, or I want to convert degree F to degree C for 100 cities? Would you keep writing these 3 lines of code over and over again 100 times? So that is simply not possible. So that is why we go for loops. C offers 3 kinds of loops: the for loop, the while loop, and do while loop. For, while, and do, they are keywords. So loops are used whenever you want to repeat a set of instructions over and over again. So loops for executing a set of instructions repeatedly. Let's see how we can use loops to solve these problems.